Welcome back to Real Life Recaps. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hello and thank you for watching my videos. Today's first Reddit story comes with updates and it was posted by Throw R a Wit. My 30 female husband's 32 male best friend's 36 male wife. 32 female is visibly flirting with my husband. And he notices it too. How do I handle it? Throwaway account for obvious reasons. We're all friends now, but he's been my husband's best friend for like 15 years. I just became the wife's acquaintance a few years ago. As couples, we only hang out at their place and/or do whatever they want to do and what's convenient for them. She makes plans with me and cancels the day before. But whenever all of us plan to hang at her place, she never cancels. For example, she's been working hard to get back to her pre-pregnancy body. So if me and my husband say something like, "Wow, you look so good. Did you lose weight?" she would respond to him, looking directly at him and say, "Really, husband's name? You think so seriously?" Another example, all throughout her pregnancy, I was asking her how she was, and she was venting to me about a lot of details. So recently I had surgery, and she pretended like it didn't happen, didn't even talk to me directly about it, but asked my husband, "Oh, how's my name doing? Is she recovering well?" When we're at their house, she always needs to change into her PJs, which are super skimpy and tight. And this is unlike her because she's a super modest dresser. Her husband also doesn't pay attention to her and is addicted to his phone and sports, and has told my husband in the past that they lack intimacy. So I'm not sure if that's why she's trying to be extra friendly with mine. Fast forward to this past weekend, she straight up turned her back to me when we were all talking at a wedding and didn't return my hug when I said bye to her. She just stood there looking in the other direction, pretending to be in a convo, but then hugged my husband tightly when he went in for a hug. Am I overreacting? I feel like she's blatantly doing this in front of me and doesn't care, but she's intentionally flirting, and she knows it. How do I handle it? Comment 1. She has a crush on him. He needs to talk to his friend. This has to stop, otherwise it can only lead to more problems. You may simply not be able to remain friends. He can hang with his buddy without her, but she can't be involved if she can't drop this. Comment 2. I have to be honest and say that it is your husband who has to handle this. If she is not interested in you, give back the same energy she gives you. Simple as. Make no effort with her. Why would you if she doesn't care about you? If your husband has noticed it, as you say, he has to nip it at the bud and keep her at arm's length. No entertaining her nonsense. He has to understand that if this escalates, his friendship with the husband could be gone. If he encourages her, then it is a case that he likes her attention. Hope he doesn't. Good luck. Comment 3. My wife had an emotional affair that started like this. Take it seriously. Good luck. Worst time ever in my life. It took years to work through, but we stayed together. Now married 34 years and all is great. OP replied, "Thank you for the insight. Definitely keeping a close eye. And sorry that happened to you. Also glad you got through it. Update." My husband has seen the response this post got and is totally aware that an indirect approach is not going to cut it. His exact words were, "Crap is going to become real awkward for her now." He plans on rejecting her advances by embarrassing her in her face. We're pretty confident she'll stop once she feels embarrassed and caught 2-3 times. He also will not be hanging out with his friend at their home. They'll only hang out in places other than their place to reduce the opportunity for her even more. We'll update when another situation about her comes up. Prayers. Thanks for all the advice. Reddit fam. Update. My 30 female husband. 32. Male is no longer friends with his best friend. 36. Male and his best friend's wife. 32 female. Since we have mutual friends, how do we handle social situations? First of all, I did not expect the level of comments and advice I got on my last post, so thank you. I promised I would give y'all an update if there was one, so here goes. My husband confronted his best friend about his wife blatantly 1, ignoring me and disrespecting me, and 2, flirting with my husband, comparing mine to hers, saying she wishes her husband could be more like mine. She does all this in front of all of us. So my husband decided to confront his best friend about it over the phone. His best friend laughed in his face and gaslit him, saying it's crazy he would even think that, and literally didn't validate or acknowledge anything my husband said. My husband said, "Nah, I know what I saw, and it makes me uneasy, and it's disrespectful to my wife." His friend proceeds to defend his wife, understandably so, and says she's just like that with all the guys? No, she is most definitely not, and keeps making more excuses. They get off the phone, his best friend agreeing he would talk to his wife about it. Fast forward to yesterday, his best friend sent him a long message stating that their friendship is effectively over. He can't get over this. And then started talking about the XYZ things he did for my husband. He said, "This could have been great. I could have taken you to professional higher heights," instead of saying that he'd miss my husband's presence in his life. Not a trace of that. So my husband liked the message and blocked his number, then blocked his wife's number. Since we have mutual friends, we're nervous about seeing them at parties and hangouts. How should we handle this? TLDR. My husband had to block his best friend's number and his wife's after he didn't take it well when my husband confronted him about his best friend's wife flirting with my husband in front of all of us. Comment 1. With your head held high, neither one of you did anything wrong. Comment 2. Don't delete those texts. He acknowledged that his wife behaved that way, and it's proof if he lies about why the friendship ended. Comment 3. You both handled this really well as a couple. Comment 4. Don't be surprised if one of them comes up with a distorted version of actual events. Something along the lines of, OP was hitting on me, or OP's husband was hitting on my wife. Be prepared to have screenshots, etc. They sound like people who wouldn't let the truth stand in the way of trying to trash you guys, and they're counting on you being too intimidated to speak up against them. If they start bad-mouthing you, take off the gloves and tell everyone exactly what kind of people they are. Comment 5. Personally, I'm a big fan of managing expectations and getting ahead of things. I would message mutual friends and say, I wanted to drop you a note to let you know that husband and I are no longer friends with ex-boyfriend and ex-boyfriend's wife. There's no drama. We've just grown apart. We are okay to be around them in larger groups, but we'll be choosing to not spend time with them in smaller groups. Please don't feel you need to choose between us, but we would appreciate knowing if ex-boyfriend and ex-boyfriend's wife are invited to events so we can decide whether to attend or not. Get ahead of the narrative and downplay the fallout, so if they claim there was drama, you can shrug and claim not to know about it. If you see them, acknowledge their existence with a hello or a nod, and then walk away. Never lower yourself to their level. Comment 6. Because that's not the way boundaries work. It's not exactly fair, but OP can't control what the ex-best friend and his wife do. A boundary is something you do for yourself. They cannot require that the host tell the other couple anything because it's not the host's responsibility. Dragging other people into the middle of this drama is incredibly inappropriate. OP and her husband can set a boundary that they don't want to engage with that couple in small groups and request that they get a heads up so they can make the decision for themselves. That is a boundary. They don't get to request that somebody else handles this shit for them. They only get to decide what they are going to do in response to the information they receive about whether or not that other couple will be there. The Reddit community here gave a lot of good advice to the OP and her husband. But I'd love to know what you think about this story. Today's second story was posted by Anonymous 3350. My 20F family invited my boyfriend 22M on a small trip. Now he and his family think that we're weird. Is it weird that we invited him to come with us? My boyfriend and I have been in a relationship for just under 2.5 years. I was under the impression that his family liked me a lot, and that my family liked him a lot as well. We got back from a family vacation just 2 days ago, and I'm feeling conflicted about it now. To get to the story, my family invited my boyfriend to come on a vacation with us for 3 days out of our home state. It wasn't anything extravagant, just a small little trip where we went hiking and sightseeing, etc. Me, my sister, my brother, and my boyfriend drove separately from my mom, dad, and grandparents. While we were driving, my boyfriend asked my siblings if they would be uncomfortable if their significant other invited them on a trip like this. My brother said that if he had only been with them for a short time, then yeah, but given our circumstances, no. Since I was the one driving, I just stayed quiet. I'll be honest, it hurt my feelings a lot, but I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. I'm quite an overthinker. When we got to the hotel we were staying at, my boyfriend just looked like he didn't want to be there. And so I asked him if he was having fun, to which he said, "No, I really just don't want to be here." I was honestly taken aback because I didn't really know what to say. I started to tear up and just walked away. The rest of that trip was just silence between us and awkward conversations between him, my dad, and my mom, as they didn't realize anything was wrong. I didn't say anything to anyone because I didn't want to ruin the mood or cut the trip short. But when we got back home, I tried talking to him about it. He said that he was just shocked he got invited to something like this, and that his parents also thought it was weird. I just kind of stared at him for a second because I literally didn't understand what was so weird about it. I said if he didn't want to go, or felt uncomfortable with going, he didn't have to, and he just kind of shrugged. I just asked him to leave my house and we would talk later because I was so shocked and hurt that he and his family would call me and my family weird for inviting him on a small trip with my family. I'm super close with his family and it's not like he doesn't know any of mine. Is it really weird to invite my boyfriend of 2.5 years to a small vacation? Comment 1. Your boyfriend and his family sound weird. You and your family sound fun, inclusive, and thoughtful. Comment 2. Exactly. We invited our daughter's boyfriend on a family reunion trip with my immediate side of the family. They were 23, and we all had a great time. Comment 3. Yes. When my first husband and I were dating, he passed away after 8 years of being married, I went on every trip his family took. Beach trips 10 hours away, etc. I went with his mom and him. I went with his sister and BL, etc. We were madly in love and everybody knew we'd be married. There was no keeping us apart from the minute we met. Where one of us was, the other was there. His family was my family and mine was his. I think the boyfriend and his family are strange here. I don't see the problem, and if your boyfriend thought it was weird, why did he go? What do you think about today's stories? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like my videos, please give them a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you haven't already done so, remember subscribing is free, but it helps when you do. Thank you and have a terrific day.